Hey guys, it's JP, and this time we're going to talk more about the importance of the feet as you run, as well as some exercises to work on them. Now, when we think of working on different body parts, we think about the quads, glutes, hamstrings, and calves, but how about the feet? The feet play such an integral role when you run, however, they can easily be forgotten about. When looking at all the structures and mechanisms involved, I can't help but be fascinated by it. And no, I don't have a foot fetish. Anyway, they are subject to a tremendous amount of force with each step you take as you run. Now, how can the foot handle this? Unlike other areas, the foot is comprised of 26 bones, 33 joints, and many muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Knowing this, there is a lot that goes on here. However, what's even more amazing is that these structures basically work as a team to distribute and transfer forces efficiently. This is further supported by different mechanisms in the foot as well. Now, I could always talk more about this, but I honestly don't know if you guys would want that long of a video on feet. Anyway, to further aid with the structures in the feet, you can work on the muscles around the foot to build the capacity of the foot to do its job and improve the way you run. Now, let's go over some foot exercises you can try to do this. The first exercise I will go over is toe yoga. This is a simple way to improve awareness and coordination of the muscles around the foot. To do this one, you really need no equipment. All you basically need to do is to try to lift the big toe up while simultaneously pressing down with the other 4 toes. Then, you reverse the action like so and keep alternating between these 2 movements. Now, I said this was a simple one, but as you may see, it can actually be pretty tough to do initially. This is an exercise that requires a lot of practice. However, the more you do it, you will gain more control and awareness of the foot muscles. Now, there are a few common compensations to look out for. One is how the big toe raises. If doing this activity is difficult, you may end up lifting the big toe more sideways rather than upward. Another common compensation is letting the ball of the foot lift up when trying to raise the big toe. A good way to prevent this is to remember to keep the rest of the foot on the ground. Now, the next foot exercise we will go over is toe splaying. This not only targets other muscles of the foot, but also works on a natural action that occurs in the feet. As you run, the foot splays as it makes contact with the ground to help absorb and distribute forces effectively. To do this one, I tell people to spread the toes out as if you were trying to make your foot as wide as possible. Then, bring them back and repeat the exercise. Similar to the last one, even though this one looks simple, it can be difficult to perform initially. Now, the last exercise I will go over in this video is the big toe elevated single leg heel raises. This variation of the heel raise works on multiple things. One obvious thing is that it works on the calf muscles. Now, a less obvious thing is that it works on big toe mobility. You can see as the heel raises up, the big toe is placed into more extension. Having this kind of mobility can be important as you run. Then, another thing this works on is that it loads the plantar fascia. This may help strengthen it to better prepare for the demands of running. Now, to do this one, all I use here is a sock. Now, instead of a sock, you can also use something like a small towel and try to position it like so. It should be placed right under the big toe, but not on the ball of the foot. Then, once it is in position, go ahead and perform a heel raise. You may feel a stretch in the arch when doing this exercise. And those are some exercises you can try. I hope you guys found this video useful. Also, I just wanted to say happy holidays. I hope you guys are all safe and healthy. And as always, thank you for watching.